full of players and kids who probably could use the minutes leading up into this UPSL Georgia season, which kicks off in just a few short weeks. Both teams battling here on the near side of the pitch right down in front of us. Lots of space on the wide edges of the pitch right here on the touchline. No teams utilizing that width quite yet.
Nothing at the moment. Interesting, as we saw the red side of Clayton on the attack recently, they seemed very spread apart in the offense in that attacking third.
Kevin Valencia trying to switch fields, unsuccessful, stripped by Clayton, and they're driving up that left side. Here comes Clayton International looking to put it through. Just weren't on the same page with the attacker. But Clayton are going to win that ball back. A little sloppy defensive play here by Volpe. Lots of white shirts closing down the red shirts, but the red shirts keeping the ball in possession. Carlone drops it back to Josui Acosta. He is the captain today for Volpe. It's going to be a Volpe throw-in once again. No, it will not be. Volpe doesn't like it. It's going to be a Clayton throw.
Yeah, they're going to try to find whatever they can right in the middle of the pitch. I feel like they're kind of having that void right about that number 10 position, missing maybe that last creative playmaker to link everything up. So right now it looks like they're just trying to find that killer through ball, and it's a very strong tackle right there in midfield.
Free kick for Clayton. Big clearance from Miguel Villa. If it stays in bounds, it'll be a Clayton. Will stay in bounds. Bounces off the head of Vizagiro. It's going to be a Clayton throw-in in their own defensive third. Both teams still trying to figure each other out. We're about 3 minutes in. No real threats on goal or any harsh possessions from either squad.
Yeah, and this is really the time of the game where you get to see the teams in their rawest form. There's not really enough time thus far in the match to really make tactical adjustments. You don't quite know what your man mark's going to be doing most of the time. So this is really the purest expression of how does each team want to play this game.
Volpe in possession, being pressured by Clayton. Clayton put on a nice little press. Brian Villa able to find some space. Maloney pushes it out to the right side. Heavy touch. Clayton wants a handball. Javier Lugo, they call him Javi, in possession, loses it, but maintains possession. It'll be a Volpe throw once again. They are creeping into the defensive third of Clayton early on.
Yeah, they're just inching up the field. Almost, I mean, I know we're on a traditional American football field, but it's almost feeling like that right now, where we're just moving the chains bit by bit.
Yep.
Certainly the side of Volpe in the white, going right to left across your screen, seem to be looking for a few more of those short play through the midfield, play through defense kind of passes. So far, it's been a little bit heavy on the touch, but let's see what happens when these guys get some warmth in them.
Big throw-in right inside the area for Volpe. Headed away from Clayton. Looks like it's going to be out for another Volpe throw.
I absolutely love the idea, especially at this level of play. Best thing you can always do in the attack build-up, just put the ball in the zone of uncertainty. If you put the ball in the box, sometimes it's just going to go in. So
absolutely.
Love the idea.
It's always nice to have that one player on your team who's got this massive throw. And Volpe throw it into the 18 once again, bouncing inside the area. Volpe maintain possession, back heel top of the 18. Kevin Valencia. Christopher Gomez now one-on-one with Clayton defender. Through ball attempt. Clayton's going to knock it out. Can they keep it in bounds? And they do. Clayton keep it in bounds. Try and push it up the right side. In possession, swarmed by Maloney. And Volpe winning the ball right back in the possession inside the half of Clayton. Foul on Clayton. Volpe free kick. Josiah Maloney gets taken down right in front of the official. Easy call, routine call for the referee. Free kick, Volpe.
Volpe so far have been doing a really good job of swarming this ball in the midfield, and it just pays dividends right there. The second that any turnover happens on the Clayton side, Volpe are just there with 3-4 guys to swarm them out in the midfield. We'll have to see if this level of defense and this level of press can keep up, but that might be the thing that really sparks one of these counterattacks.
Christopher Gomez and Maloney over this free kick. Who's it going to be? Gomez puts it inside the 18. Christopher Gomez right into the arms of the Clayton goalkeeper, who dives on it just in case. A few white shirts lingering on his back. He's going to roll it straight up to the midfield. Clayton's going to turn and be immediately swarmed by that Volpe midfield, just like Steven mentioned. Josiah Maloney in possession, pushes out to the right side. It's an offside right there on Volpe inside the 18. Free kick for Clayton. 6 minutes in, and Volpe the first team to really add any sort of threat in their opposition's half. Nonetheless, free kick, Clayton.
Yeah, we'll see what they can get done here. seems like their primary mode of attack has really just been these long balls over top. So seeing if they can get that ball up to their top guys. And it's really going to be this ongoing duel between the center backs, between the strikers, between the wingers to see, when are you going to lose me? As an attacker, I'm always moving around, just waiting for the absolute second that my man mark just doesn't pick me up. And that's where you're going to find the through ball here. But it's on the other side.
Clayton have lots of space in front out here on this right side. Overlap run, he decides to push it back on the inside. And they're going to switch fields. Lots of space on the left side here for Clayton. Tracking back was Javier Lugo, adding a little pressure here, making it difficult for Clayton. Through ball attempt, nice pass from Clayton. Working the ball very nice. Wide open on the left, push it inside the 18. Clayton International FC. Can Clayton find the back of the net? No, they can't. They put it right through the uprights of the American field goal post, and it will be a goal kick for Volpe.
That was a beautiful run from number 4 Acosta, also the captain. Or actually, flip that around. That's Clayton. I'm used to seeing Volpe in the orange-red kits, but number 4 there for Clayton makes his beautiful run right through the midfield. And as you're going to see here, look at number 4 just take up that 10 space, like I had mentioned, for Clayton International, and then nearly gets on the end of that through ball. Ball goes over the top, can't quite keep it down. Those bouncing balls are always hard to keep control of, but filling that middle space of the pitch with those late runs, that can be a very dangerous tool here for Clayton, who so far is just starting to test that back line of Volpe.
Ball is back in play. Both teams had 2 goal threats back-to-back for the first time all game. Here's Clayton again trying to put the ball inside the 18. He nipped away by Gomez. Gomez back in possession. He looks up, makes a nice move in the midfield. Good ball. If it gets through, he's got some space. Here comes Kevin Valencia. He's got a foot race for the ball. Nice defensive play by Clayton.
That's a beautiful defensive effort right there. Last man standing, 1 man to cover 2 on the backside.
Christopher Gomez comes in. It's a harsh foul inside the Clayton half. Clayton free kick.
Maybe a little bit upset about that. And speaking of which, let's look at that replay. Beautiful through ball here. Looks like from the right back, launches us all the way across that left wing, and it is just a foot race. You can see there at the top of your screen, 1 attacker coming to the midfield, 1 to the right midfield.
Clayton back inside the 18. Nice defensive play. Looks like going to be a corner for Clayton, their first of the day.
All right, let's see what they got brewing here. Now is the time to hit us with what you've been doing out on the practice pitch. What do you got? Are they going to look for the short op? Nope, looks like they're going to opt to send it in over top.
It's going to be a left foot in swinging corner, and it is away to the far post and head on. Deflected away by Volpe, and they clear it out here on the left side. Amos Viziguero in possession. Nice little bit of skill. If he can, nice nutmeg. But even better defense play here by Clayton International as they regain possession here on the right side. Once again, though, Steven, all the white shirts swarming, but Clayton have a lot of skill to maintain possession and switch it out here to the left side. Again, lots of space on the width for Clayton. Ball's played in and headed away by Gomez. Clayton's going to knock it out. It'll be a throw-in for Volpe. Clayton, you got to say they've had the most scoring opportunities here in the last 5 minutes. It's been all Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think that Clayton are doing the better job of getting that ball up the pitch into attacking third, but it seems like they're getting somewhat restricted in their finishing options. Like I had mentioned before, the most dangerous thing I've seen so far is number 4 in the red kit, making that deep run almost from a holding midfielder's position right basically to a 10's position, really cemented down that box-to-box midfielder moniker right there, but they need to figure out, if that's one way they can score a goal, great. Let's get some other attacking options, because if that's the only way you're going to get there, me as a manager, I'm just putting one of my midfielders to man mark him, and all of a sudden, this turn into a very hard to really finish game for the red side of Clayton.
Josiah Maloney in possession. Volpe working the ball nicely right here in front of their bench. Brian Vila. Gomez once again carries it into the middle. Tries to play it through in the middle. Just wasn't on the same page with Viziguero. It's going to be a Volpe throw in front of their bench. We're about 11 minutes in. We're live here at Heinz Ward Field at Terra Stadium in Clayton County, Georgia. UPSL Georgia Regional Cup Match Day 3. Kicking it off with Volpe FC taking on Clayton International FC. If you're just now joining us, neither team has anything to play for. Pride is on the line, right, Steven?
Hey, sometimes pride's enough. Sometimes pride will make you do crazy, crazy things and push you that little bit more. That's a dangerous
It is.
get certain time.
Almost a hospital ball. Goalkeeper was confident enough to come out off his line and clear it away. It's going to be off the head of Josiah Maloney right at half field. Throw in for Clayton.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a few of those balls in the past, and there's almost like time starts to slow down a little bit when that pass comes into you, and if that attacker's got that extra little bit of gas in him, that gets dangerous quick, but well handled.
It's nice that you mentioned that, because let's keep an eye on the gas in the legs of Amos Vallezagiro, because they haven't stopped moving all game. The number 9 for Volpe. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he's got quite the skills in his toolbox, Steven.
Yeah, it's all about when does he get to whip it out.
Exactly, exactly. He tried to a little earlier on. Oh, nice deflection there. Not sure if he meant to do that or not. Nice save nonetheless by the Clayton goalkeeper, who quickly punts it right up the middle. Headed off Brian Vila. Right back into the feet of Josiah Maloney. Clears it out to the right side. Nobody there. It's going to roll out of bounds for a Clayton throw. Yeah,
I'll say thus far, there's definitely a goalkeeper in the pink kit going left to right here for the side of Clayton. He's earning his keep so far today. He's had to make a few aggressive clearances thus far, has been on the receiving end, bobbled the first one. Maybe the hands are a little bit cold. There is a bit of a breeze going on here, down here in Jonesboro, Georgia. So we'll have to see, can he keep up this level? Because another thing, we mentioned biggest thing with the attack is put the ball into the box of uncertainty. Another huge thing at this level is just let your opponent make the mistake. So it's going to be a contest of how competent, how sound, how secure can these goalkeepers be when they're called on the most.
Clayton back in possession. I hope you guys are taking notes, because Mr. Johnson is coming with the facts today. And we're just one game in of our 3, so you better have a folder out, because we're coming with some knowledge today, aren't we, partner?
Oh, and this is the game that doesn't actually have like any sort of outcome on the playoff bracket.
But there's still a story. There's still a story that can be told, and it's exciting.
So. This is the beauty of non-pro soccer. This is the beauty of this division of play here in North America. These players aren't here because they're on contracts. They're not here because they're paid to be. They're here because they love the game and they want to keep developing. That is the story we're here to celebrate, and right now, I'm feeling like a celebration.
Absolutely. And like I said just a few seconds ago, this is the first of our 3 live broadcasts today. So stay tuned. 2 more after this. We're not even halfway done with this one, and it's still 0-0. 15 minutes in, Volpe FC taking on Clayton, and that's going to be offside just a few yards behind that Volpe back line. Assistant referee saw it. Flag went up. Free kick, Volpe.
Yeah, just failed to curve the run a little bit on the attack. Fortunately, you saw right when the ball was kicked, he's clearly offsides. But the idea is there. Start testing that back line. The more you make those center backs run, the more they're likely to make a mistake later on in the game. You're either going to force them to make a substitution, get a new guy in there who might not be familiar with who he's supposed to be man-marking, or he's going to lose a step, and that's where your attacking play is the most effective. You reap what you sow, and right now, if you want to get in behind, you got to start sowing.
Just a heavy touch there from Clayton, forcing a Volpe throw. And, I just noticed.
Interesting play. Going to have a throw-in coming here for the white-kitted Volpe. A little bit confusion about where the throw-in's going to be taken. Usually it's that they're too far forward. Everyone likes to get a little bit closer to that opposition's attacking third. This time going to be a little bit too far back. And bouncing ball in the midfield. Could be dangerous. Looking through on the attack here, we got Volpe moving. Immediately snuffed out, though. Clayton now progressing this ball down the right side, trying to find a ball in the middle. Beautiful, deft header. That's going to be a shot. So close.
It's one of the best opportunities that Clayton has had all game. Really, either team has had all game. Nice reception, nice turn, shot on goal, but right into the arms of Andre Meza, goalkeeper for Volpe FC. Really his first time being called on today. Made a save, routine save, but a save that he needed to make nonetheless.
That was a very aggressive and very dangerous build-up for Clayton. It was, for me, it was that last deft header that just barely diverts the ball but gets it to your attacker on the other side. That is what's going to catch the goalkeeper out the most, and if it's just a little bit better of a connection at the end there, that's in the back of the net.
Nice flick there from Clayton, trying to stay in possession inside the opposition's second half. Shot on goal attempt. Looks like referee blows the whistle. I'm going to say dangerous play on that acrobatic shot attempt. Unsure what the foul was.
Didn't quite find it through. It was almost the fake scissor kick. You know, really just hit him with the distraction. They think you're going one way, it goes the other. Whether it was a valid shot or not, still good to see here for the Volpe FC goalkeeper. He's been sound so far. He's been forced now to make 2 acrobatic-esque saves, not quite top corners, but still's got to get off his feet for him. And is really just getting into that groove as a goalkeeper. Sometimes the first save is the most important because it gives you the confidence to be that rock, be that pillar, be that foundation for your team that they absolutely need.
As we roll into the 18th minute, Clayton International FC would like to thank their sponsor, Mesquite Mexican Grill and Bar. 4 locations in the metro Atlanta area: Stockbridge, McDonough, Locust Grove, and Jackson, Georgia. Of course, we always like to thank our sponsors for making things happen here in the UPSL Georgia. Check out Mesquite Mexican Grill and Bar.
I think I figured out something here for Clayton. I think I figured out what their pressing trigger is, and that is the goalkeeper, because they just swarmed their very dangerous ball.
Looks like it was a handball, though, on Vallezaguirre. But if he maintained possession, he was in behind that back line of Clayton. The first real threat could have been done there for Volpe, but great eye by the official. Handball on Vallezaguirre, free kick Clayton. They take it quickly. Steven, they're going to push it out here to the right side. Clayton has been really, really good at utilizing the width. At times, you see the midfield is so bunched, but once Clayton gets the ball, it's like they expand, and that width is immediately utilized. Nice defensive play here by Volpe as Clayton, again, looking to attack. Kevin Valencia in possession here on the near side of the pitch, switches fields quickly. Coming down that right side. Nice overlap there by Raul Carlon. Flicked out by Clayton. Another throw in the opposition third for Volpe. We're going to see that long throw again, Steven?
Oh, I would wager it. I hope we see it. So far, I mean, he's had a few, okay, maybe a little bit far.
Well, you'd like, look, he could have easily threw that in the box. You'd like to see more white shirts in the 18 there. Utilize that throw. Free kick, Volpe. Clayton has been, sorry to interrupt you. Clayton, they make a lot of silly fouls right on the top of their 18. We saw one of the goals of the tournament already off of a Clayton foul. It ended up in the 1-0 win for Cochos last week. Carlos Zaldana just put in an absolute stout free kick after a silly foul from Clayton, and it's the exact same opportunity here for Volpe. Let's see if they can capitalize. Got a lot of white shirts in the box.
Yeah, watch that backside. I already see a few of these white-kitted Volpe players. They're trying to float, and at this level, sometimes it's easy to lose your marker in the mess, and like we said, put it in the box of uncertainty. Sometimes chaos can be your friend. Steven,
they're going to go with an end swinger right in the middle of the goal. Goalkeeper uses his 2 mittens, punches it down in front, and runs and scoops it up. I'm a fan of the out swingers, and in that position, I would have gone with a right footer, but I digress. I guess that's why I'm up here, right? Nice opportunity there from Volpe, stripped from Clayton, and they look to attack again immediately, playing it right up through the middle. Long ball, headed away by Volpe. Volpe have some space out here on the left, shut down once again from Clayton, forcing a switch, and Clayton are now right back in control. Raul Carlon's going to shut down the Clayton player, but again, they are very, very good at their movement in the midfield and create space. Just like that, Duke Clayton. Oh, sloppy touch there. Unfortunate for Clayton. They were in more red shirts than white shirts, but here come Volpe. Looking for Vallezaguirre, and he's on his bike. Can he keep it in bounds? It looked like he's going to, Steven. He's got one player in front. Let's see if he whips out that tool. Nope. It's going to be flicked out by Clayton. Throw in for Volpe right down here in front of us.
Clayton, so far, they've been very conservative with who they send forward. They're always keeping that back four nearly in a complete line. Even if that attacker for Volpe had found that space on the left side, there was a full back line ready and only 1 or 2 supporting members. Well, maybe a bit of a disagreement on who gets what, but free kick immediately going to go the other way.
Here come Clayton, and once again, forcing a massive clearance from the captain, Acosta. Clayton's going to get another throw in inside the Volpe half. Their defense has been extremely disciplined tonight. Clayton's, and it's just a fun sight to see. Volpe are having a very difficult time breaking. Look at all the space in the midfield right here.
Yeah.
Through ball, once again, looking for Amos. They're in a foot race, but Clayton are going to win that foot race once again. Probably going to shield, let it go over the line for a goal kick.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. We mentioned it basically in the first 3 minutes. Number 4 in the red kit for Clayton has basically been the entirety of that central attack. When he was receiving that ball up towards the left side of the pitch, nobody was filling that gap. He tries to play into the center, and there's nothing but a sea of white kits around you. So if they're not going to play through center, they need to have him populating that midfield space.
And just as you say, he has moved from the right side, moved all the way to the left side to receive the ball. Beautiful ball through the middle. Tried to flick on to the right side, but Volpe playing some stout defense. Brian Villa is going to shield it out, and it'll be a goal kick for Volpe. Clayton, I tell you what, they have really shown up today and surprised me, and I would assume surprised the fans here in attendance. They've dominated this match.
They have. I mean, all they're missing is that finishing, is that little bit of finesse in that final third. And one thing I really want to point out is number 10, or rather number 18, I believe, that central forward here. I haven't been absolutely blown away with the ball at his feet, but at his head, he is dangerous.
At halftime, let's move the goals to the top of the 18, and then we'll get 10 or 11 goals each.
Oh, easily. I wholeheartedly agree with that decision.
Raul Carlon stripped immediately from Clayton, and Clayton's going to win another foul. Free kick inside the Volpe half. Just now joining us, the score is tied at 0. Volpe FC taking on Clayton International FC, match day 3, UPSL Georgia Spring Regional Cup. We are live at Hines Ward Field, Terra Stadium in Clayton County, Georgia. I am Drew Dickinson alongside Steven Johnson. For the last, 15 minutes, it's been all Clayton International. They deserve a goal. Let's see if they can reward themselves. About 20 minutes plus stoppage remaining here in the first half. Clayton again, shot on goal, deflected, in possession on top of the 18. Nice defensive play here from Volpe. Kevin Valencia, a nice bit of skill. Unfortunate, he's going to knock it out himself. Throw in for Clayton.
Back to the back line. Looks like they're trying to start building out of the back here. Once again, it's just that empty midfield.
Got to be careful, though. I'll tell you what, Steven, I mentioned it a few minutes ago, but the defensive work from these center backs and wing backs for Clayton have been absolutely phenomenal. 24 and a half minutes in, all four have been equally player of the game so far.
Hey, there better be some very cool refreshments waiting for them at halftime, because they are going to earn every single drop of it. But we also mentioned this before the other way. It actually relates to how they're trying to attack their opponents here in Volpe. The question is, sure, these guys are putting in the effort now, but how long can they keep that up, especially if they're not being shielded by their midfield line? And at what point do you need to start making changes either to your personnel or to your strategy? Dangerous attack here once again.
Javi Lugo out on the right side. Lugo goes down, questions the official's call, but it's going to be a throw-in for Volpe. One of the first real attacks for Volpe in the last 10-15 minutes. Let's see if they can capitalize. Now, we're sure we're going to get the long throw. Carlone is going to pick it up, but it looks like it's going to be Acosta who will take this throw. Lots of white shirts in the box. Look at Christopher Gomez at the far post. Lots of space at the far post. Throw's going to go near post. And it went right to the feet of Gomez, right up under his foot. Unable to keep possession. Clayton are going to clear it away. It's going to be stripped by Villa. Villa still working. Clayton won that ball back, though. Nice defensive work. Nice skill. Stripped by Volpe. Almost by Izagiro. Long shot attempt by Christopher Gomez, forcing a beautiful save to the right side of that Clayton goal. Goalkeeper dives out, scoops it up, picks it up, and immediately runs to the top of the 18. We're going to get a punt here, Steven?
Could be looking for it. I mean, this is a team that likes to play up top very quickly, and there we see. But I've got to say, I'm starting to get a little worried for the Clayton goalkeeper. A lot of these shots he's facing, he's really not having the great success in holding on to that ball. That was a tough shot, but if this side, Volpe, just keeps peppering him, even get close range, and if they get somebody to crash that box, that could be the opener for him. And really, you don't necessarily need to dominate the game to find the first goal. You just need to find that one opportunity.
Pick up the trash, as they say. Clayton moving it down the right side. Kevin Valencia coming back in defensive work here for Volpe. Nice bit of skill here from Clayton once again. Lots of space for Clayton. I mean, they have really dominated the open space this entire first half. I mean, once again, look at all the space in the front of the 18 for Clayton. It was quickly closed down by Maloney for Volpe. Nice shot attempt from Clayton. Clearance from Volpe. It's going to go out for another Clayton throw.
Yeah, but it's almost in how they create that space that is the double-edged sword. They're putting 5 or 6 guys nearly on this attacking line. They're basically creating a set-piece situation during open play. And that means, like we mentioned before, that midfield, that connecting tissue to the attacking third, it's being left open. So I'm almost wondering if maybe we either start seeing more guys start floating back around the top of the box, be that connecting player, or do we just say, hey, if we got 5 guys ready for a cross, let's give them a cross.
Ball's played in. Lots of space for the number 10 for Clayton. And the ball just slipped up under his feet, but they win it back once again. Clayton really deserve a goal here. Let's see if they can reward themselves once again. And it's going to be a silly foul on Christopher Gomez for Volpe. It's going to be a free kick for Clayton about, 15 yards in front of the 18. Dead center. Let's see if Clayton going to go for goal here. I think they are. Let's see what kind of set pieces they have in their toolbox.
Yeah, we can check here the replay right before we get to this set piece. Just a dangerous bouncing ball situation. Number 7 able to come through, has the ball at the top of the box, and it's just the extended leg for number 35. My money is that we're going to get something driven at the goalkeeper. Just what we were saying about the goalkeeper in pink for the side of Clayton. Same thing applies for Volpe. Drive it at him. See if you can make a mistake. It doesn't have to be a beautiful goal. It just has to make it in the net.
Andre Miza setting up a wall. He's got a 4-man wall. He's going to sit far post, leave the near post for the wall. And the shot attempt goes near post, deflected off the wall. The kicker's going to get another attempt, deflected off Volpe. It is going to go out for a Clayton corner.
Yeah, and last time we saw that in-swinger maybe looking for something around that back post, really get up close and personal with the goalkeeper. Obviously, make sure you're not caught for obstruction, but especially these levels, you can sometimes find those heat-of-the-moment absolute chaos shots. And like we said, all that matters is that it goes in. Doesn't have to be beautiful, just has to work.
The left foot end swinger is away at the far post, and Clayton had a man streaking at the back post. Beautiful clearance from Volpe. It was sure to be 1-0 if he connected, but Volpe are on a counterattack. Tried to switch fields, just not on the same page, as the left winger was cutting on the inside and the right winger went for a complete switch, and Clayton was there to eat that space alive once again.
Yeah, that's going to have to be something that Volpe, especially as we get closer and closer to half, and about another 15 minutes before the manager starts getting involved, but they don't have a lot of chances here. They have to make sure that each and every single one of them, they're getting the best possible possibilities out of each of them. They need to make sure that every single time they have the ball, they're making it count. And another silly foul.
Be an identical free kick from a few minutes ago here from Clayton. Meza is going to set the wall up once again. He had a 4-man wall on last free kick, so I would assume it would be fairly familiar. The official has yet to give 10.
Yeah, and as we see here on the replay, it's just about as simple as they come. Good physical play. Unfortunately, sometimes it results in fouls. Nothing malicious, but you can't be giving away stuff like this.
Meza set the same way, and the kicker does go near. Meza bobbles it inside the 6. Lucky to get his hands back on that, as Clayton's defensive man was crashing the 18 and trying to finish and pick up the pieces. Meza got fairly lucky there as he gets a big clearance. He being Meza up the left side, looking for Valencia. Clayton maintained possession inside the Volpe half. Through ball attempt. If he can get in behind, he's got just a goalkeeper one-on-one. Great defensive play there by Miguel Villa to force another throw in here for Volpe. Clayton really putting some pressure on, unable to break down that Volpe defense.
And here on the replay, we're seeing that ball over top. And just like we mentioned before, especially sometimes when you have a ball that's bouncing off the ground on a pitch like this, it can be tricky for the goalkeeper to get in that right position to really get either decide to go for the scoop, go for the overhead, figure out how you need to hold on to that ball. And sometimes one additional bounce is all you need. Not quite lucky enough for the side Clayton to find the score now, but it's something to build on.
Clayton inside the 18. Shot on goal attempt. Deflected off Volpe. Right back to the feet of Clayton. Long shot attempt deflected off Clayton's own man. It's going to make an easy routine save here for Andrew Miza, who quickly rolls it out to the left side of the feet of Kevin Valencia. Valencia looks up and immediately charges up that left side, cuts it back, plays it in the middle, yells at the official.
As you do.
Volpe in possession over on the right side. Sloppy touch. Clayton strip, maintain possession, and they're going to try and force another counterattack. Just couldn't keep it going as Volpe went it right back from Josiah Maloney.
And this is just such a direct attack out of Volpe. I don't think I've seen a ball move backwards past the midfield once for Volpe. It's only forward. It's only counterattack. I mean, seeing their kits reminds me a bit of the Lily Whites. Only forward, only counterattack to my heart. But, I mean, right now, they just haven't quite found that perfect through ball. They haven't found that correct counterattack that's going to let them put something on the board and give them something for the half.
Throw in for Clayton, right at half field.
Yeah, after a good physical half hour of play, I feel like these players are appreciating at least a few seconds reprieve. As we mentioned before, I think the aggressive, determined defending out of Volpe, really swarming that midfield, it's going to be taking a toll. So let's keep our eyes on, are we starting to lose a step here or there? And also something that can tire these guys out is that Clayton's not afraid to play around them. They're playing the switches, they're playing the swings, they're playing everything around and really making Volpe work to get that ball back. Whereas sometimes Clayton's just kind of delivering. Right? Clayton's just getting delivered the ball on the other end.
Miza had to step off the line and another easy save. Volpe trapped inside their own 18. Nice big clearance. Right up through the middle, but all the space once again occupied by Clayton International FC. Sloppy clearance by Josiah Maloney. Clayton win the ball back. Red shirts inside the 18. Clayton, great opportunity. Great defensive swarm there by Volpe, making it very difficult for Clayton. They just can't seem to break down Volpe. We're 34 minutes in. Score is still tied at 0. It's been all Clayton this first half. Just have not been able to find any in-game. Another foul on the left side of the 18. It'll be a free kick for Volpe. This is going to be the first yellow card of the game. It will be issued to Volpe FC. Clayton have a free kick opportunity, about the 4th in the last 5 minutes. Said so many times in the last 15 minutes they deserve a goal. Let's see if they can find some right here, Steven.
Yeah, and I think this is really that first challenge of the game that probably does deserve that yellow card. Very sloppy attack. Looks like a 1 to 2 footed tackle, as we're going to see on the replay on that attacking left side. Volpe are just trying to put this ball forward at all times. Clayton, great job winning the ball back. Yeah, it just goes through his own man. That's why actually the white-kitted Volpe member was the one who was down for a elongated period of time, but silly defending. And you can almost feel a sense of desperation when you give the ball over in a position like that. Setting up for this. I don't think this is going to be a very dangerous attempt on goal. That angle is quite difficult to get past a keeper. However, it gives you a lot of room to lay that ball up for one of your attackers, or even, heck, at this point, bring the defenders up there. They're going to be the guys who are dominant in the air.
Free kick taken. Bounces off the wall, right back to Volpe. Clayton win it back. Long shot attempt from Clayton. It sails straight through the upright. It'll be a goal kick for Volpe once again. And we're going to have a substitution for Volpe. The number 17, Diego Wright, is ready to check in.
We'll see who's going to be coming off here. Substitution might take a little bit of time. Definitely seeing you're almost getting the point that, especially with the last few minutes, Volpe are going to be very happy to slow this game down, make it to the half, really just survive these next 10 minutes, go into the locker room, readjust your game plan, and then come back. But right now, we've said this since about the 5th to 10th minute. This is Clayton's game right now. Volpe are just playing it.
Javi Lugo is going to take a seat for Mr. Diego Wright. I'd like to thank the officiating crew today. They've done a stellar job so far here in the first half. Our center referee is Mr. Robert Benj. AR1, Azai Martinez. AR2, Isaac MFO. And our 4th official today is Giovanni Vasquez. Got some stout officiating here in the UPSL Georgia Division. Looking forward to seeing what they have for the rest of the season and for the rest of the day today. Be a quick foul committed on Volpe. Free kick for Clayton. About 9 minutes plus stoppage remaining here in the first half. It's been all Clayton. Let's see if they can finally find the back of the net. It's going to be another foul on Volpe. This time, is he pointing to the spot?
I think he is.
He is pointing to the spot. It's going to be a penalty kick for Clayton. Another just silly foul. This time it's going to be on Raul Carlone for Volpe FC, and Clayton have been rewarded, Steven, with a penalty kick.
And here's the replay. Just ball in over the top, looking down that left wing. Oh, it's the outstretched arms. The attacker of Clayton gets around him, and it's just there's no reason to shove him off like that. I understand, as a defender, you always want to kind of be there. You want to let your man know he's there. But the second your arms are outstretched and there is an attacker who is down in the box, you are asking to give away a penalty. And this, I mean, we've been saying that they deserved a goal. Well, the referee agrees with them. And let's see if the ball agrees as well.
It's going to be a penalty kick for Clayton in the 37th minute. Referee checks his watch. Kicker will go at the whistle. Can he make it 1-0? And the ball is played to the left side, and he puts it in the back of the net right off the side post. Clayton go up 1-0.
Yeah, and that's the worst kind of goal to let in when you're a goalkeeper. When it's almost better when you've guessed the wrong way and you just have to kind of watch it glide in. Because as a goalkeeper, you know you're not going to get that usually. But he guesses the right way. He knows the right side. But he just doesn't get to ground quick enough. He stays in the air, looks for that. Sometimes you just need to dive at that corner, and that time, that's exactly what he needed. But Clayton, hey, they were pushing for the goal. They deserved that goal, and there, they got the goal.
You know, you'd argue that the penalty kick taker mishit it, and the post was his best friend as the post helped it find and scale that left side netting into the back of the net. Absolutely nothing Andrew Meza could do because, like you said, he dove the right way, but nobody's saving that. Clayton go up 1-0. Got about 6 minutes plus stoppage to go.
Back to the goalkeeper. Look at me making up for his mistake. Played over the top into central, and hey, it's the story of the game. It's just straight to the red side. Trying to get some techers here in that right back position. Good steal away from Volpe.
Clayton trying to find a second before that first half whistle blows. Nice ball out to the left side. Clayton bringing it inside the 18. He cuts it back. Volpe with some great defense there by Miguel Vela and Brian Vela.
Center back's contribution absolutely storming up this field, looking to cross this one in. Turn to center a little bit.
Volpe having to drop a lot of midfielders back into their own defensive half here, trying to keep Clayton off the board. Here comes Amos Vallezagiro. Amos still in possession. Referee calls for a foul. He lost possession. Good foul by the center official. Free kick. It's going to be taken by Gomez. He takes it quick, puts it right up through the middle. You're going to have to do a lot more than that to beat this Clayton defense. As today, they've been so composed, played so well. Look at all the space here out on the right wing. They decide against it, play inside the middle, and the left winger is creeping out here on the left as well. Lots of space. Nice ball. If he can get to him, he's in behind the defense. But great clearance there by the captain, Josue Acosta. It's going to be a throw-in for Clayton. Right. The official is unable to agree on the throw, so it's going to be a Volpe throw-in, taken quickly by Valencia. Maloney unable to maintain possession as Clayton are going to let this one ride, and they're going to earn a throw. They'll take it quick, drop it back to the center back, but we have a player down in the middle of the field, and it's Volpe's number 9, Amos Vallezagiro. He's been the only motor that they've had all game. It's going to be a shame. Hopefully it's just a cramp as that right leg goes up and looks like it's going to be stretched. The official goes over to check. Maybe we'll get some trainers on here to see if he's going to be okay. We got about 4 minutes plus stoppage. I wouldn't suspect too much stoppage, but here we go. This right here is going to no doubt add on to the stoppage. If you're just now joining us, the score is 1-0. Clayton snuck in a penalty kick on the left side off the left post right into that side netting. They took a 1-0 lead just before half. Let's see if Volpe can respond. We are still in response time. And here's a replay of that, Steven.
There it is. Bottom corner. You know, like you mentioned, sometimes the post is your worst enemy as a striker. Sometimes it's your best friend. And in this case, it was friend over foe. Curious to see who stays on here. You mentioned number 9 for the white-kitted Volpe. Would definitely be a shame to miss. He's also been one of their most aggressive players up top. I love to see a striker who isn't afraid to go shoulder to shoulder. And could really be why he wasn't able to make that run earlier. We saw a few of those balls go wide seemingly to somebody who should be there but wasn't. But yeah, it looks like he's coming off here. So it's preseason. If there's even a shred of doubt about whether or not you're going to make that worse, that's the right call.
You know, I'd hate for some of his teammates to get up off the bench and help him off as he was clearly struggling almost. He had to do it on his own. Not a fan of that as number 69, Oscar Vega, checks into the game. And Clayton have possession back in the midfield. Once again, I mean, Steven, look at the space that Clayton creates off their runs. It's astonishing that it's just a 1-0 lead so far.
It really is, and the only thing holding them back is that just lack of quality in the final third.
It's end game. We say it weekly here in the UPSL Georgia Division. If the goals were at the top of the 18, we'd have 30 goals a game, but it's just unfortunate. That last 18 yards, it still needs a little development, a little bit more practice, and that's what the preseason is for. That's what this regional cup is for. Harness your skills, develop your skills, figure out a way to play as a team, and maybe you can make something happen because Clayton has played as a team so well today.
They certainly have. I like their game plan a lot. I think they've had the better of Volpe for these first 43 minutes. I think that the game plan they've come up with, it's just been aggressive. They've just found a way to utilize what they've needed to. There are some adjustments they can make, but I think the onus is really on the side of Volpe to make a change.
Steven, watch. I'm sorry. If this ball goes on a dead ball, we got to see a replay just of the movement. Once Volpe is in their defensive possession, Clayton's movement has just been so fantastic. If you watch out here in the right wing, how the center forward and the right winger move into different positions, find that open space, it's just been phenomenal.
It really has, and with time, it's getting better and better. You can see how much of a toll that extreme press has come through for Volpe. They need to just try to hang on here because the legs are failing them. But that's a lot of attacking members here up for Volpe.
Here they come, lots of space. If he can keep it in bounds, the referee has not put a flag up. I'd like to see a little bit more hustle for number 67 from Volpe. It's going to sail over the touchline. It'll be a goal kick for Clayton. And, you know, Clayton finished tied at the top of the league in the East Division for Division I last year with 21 points with FC Atlanta Academy and Kalonji Pro Profile. So they're no slouch. So it's going to be exciting to see how they perform in the upcoming season because right now, Clayton's going to be a very, very, very early contestant for that division winner.
Yeah, and I really
especially if they continue to play the way they play right now. Sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to go ahead and slide that in.
Certainly so. And I think it's really harsh to view them only by their 0 win, 0 draw, 2 loss record because you look at the just quality of competition. LGSA as well as Coachos FC, that is a rough group to be matched up with here. So certainly I think this is the iron sharpen iron that they need to really get ready for the season.
Josoya Custa, the captain from our Volpe, with a beautiful transition slide tackle to save a goal-scoring threat from Clayton. Forces a throw-in. Clayton take it quickly. You're going to drop it back. And, Steven, it's just like you keep mentioning, number 4 for Clayton is just all over the pitch, whether he's playing that attacking midfield role or he's coming back to receive the ball in a defensive midfielding role. He's the maestro today, not just for Clayton, but he's really, 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 really bothering the Volpe midfield as well.
Yeah, he's been doing what he can to really be that connective tissue. He's basically been the quarterback of the team for this point. But the problem is that, you know, this is an 11 versus 11 game. It can't just be one guy because by definition, he can only be in one place. If he's on that left wing, nobody's filling the center. If he's in the center, he's not quite finding that connection. I mean, thankfully, they've got enough guys forward that usually he's able to find the right pass or the team's actually able to play just directly past him. But if they can get just that little bit more, they can turn this dangerous attack and turn it into the knockout punch they've been waiting for.
Steven, we had entered stoppage time. Like I said before, almost his injury is really the only stoppage of play that we've had, so I don't expect too much stoppage. The referee just looked at his watch. We were unaware of what stoppage will be, so I'm afraid that I can't give it to you. And there it is. The official blows the whistle for the end of the first half. Clayton absolutely dominated. Volpe still trying to figure it out, Steven. What does Volpe have to do at halftime? What does the coach have to instill into the brains of his team to get them back into the contest?
I mean, I think they really just need to take better care of that ball, because the problem is that so far, Clayton have just owned possession. They have been afraid to build up. They have been afraid to push their advantage. And Volpe, they spend so much time and so much energy winning that ball back, almost to immediately turn it back over. And that is a dangerous game to play, because that's going to wear out your players. That's going to put stress onto them. And you got to wonder what's going to be left in the tank going for the second half.
First half penalty kick goal sends Clayton into the halftime break up 1-0 over Volpe FC. We'll be back after this short break. Back to Heinz Field. I'll get this right. Heinz Ward Field at Terra Stadium here in Clayton County. Drew Dickinson alongside Steven Johnson. We went into the halftime break with Clayton International FC up 1-0 on Volpe FC. Steven, the entire first half was basically all Clayton. Volpe were defending for their lives. Very lucky to exit the first half down 1. I'm excited for the second half. It's going to be a barn burner.
It should be, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what has Volpe been told in the locker room. What has the manager instilled in them? What changes are we going to see? Because I think the difference for me comes down to efficiency. I think the thing that has put Clayton above Volpe this far is efficiency. They've pressed when they needed to. They haven't overworked themselves, but they have still made the most of their situations where they have found them. Volpe are putting in a lot of effort for a very little reward. Like we mentioned before we went to half, they have this aggressive, relentless press, but they just lose the ball further up the field. So something's got to change or we're going to start seeing some really shaky legs.
You know, from the looks of it, Steven, it looks like Amos Vallezagiro is not going to make it back into the contest here. He left the first half injured, and it looks like I don't even see him on the bench, partner, so his day is definitely done. If Volpe want to make some noise in this UPSL Division I coming up in the spring, they're going to need Amos. Let's hope he's going to be okay. We are gearing up here for the second 45 here in Clayton County. Referee's checking his watch. The officials, the center official, all agree that we are ready to go. Volpe will be going from left to right in the all-white kits, and Clayton will be going from right to left in their red kits. Look forward to an exciting second half, and we are underway for the second 45. I'd like to mention some sponsors for Volpe this afternoon. Carpet International Sales, LLC, EH Garage, and YNC Shop International, all located in Dalton, Georgia. Like I said before, we always really appreciate our sponsors for making things happen, and I'm sure Volpe really appreciates Carpet International Sales, LLC, EH Garage, and YNC Shop International. So we're back here in live action. Christopher Hamilton checks in for Volpe. He loses possession inside that Clayton 18. Let's see if Clayton can start off where they left off, Steven.
Already, though, you're seeing Volpe with a very different approach to the game. They've been not as afraid to go for the short passes. They actually had quite a bit of buildup off the kickoff. So already definitely seeing some changes, but still it's a long way back to the top. They need to find that opportunity that's going to draw this game level.
Steven, early on, we're 1 minute and 1 second into the game, and Clayton have already found an amazing piece of space. Almost found a second goal, too. Number 12 right here runs from the center of the park, checks right here in the middle, finds some space, and just tried to break it inside. Just unsuccessful as Volpe maintained possession here right in front of us. Christopher Hamilton being defended by Clayton. He goes up the right side looking for number 69, Oscar Vega. Vega unable to maintain possession, but stripped. Christopher Gomez wins the ball back for Volpe. Beautiful ball from Gomez. Can Volpe put up 1-1? And it's going to be a penalty for Volpe this time. Taken down in the box was Diego Wright. Clayton are going to fight the call. The officials are saying, penalty. Great chance for Volpe to go on the board and tie this thing 1-1, Steven.
That would be a huge swing of momentum. And right here on the replay, this is a lovely weighted ball. Just barely holds up enough for the striker down the end of it. I was worried it wasn't getting out from under his feet. It looked like it was a great clearance, but I think he just caught too much of the attacker, and the referee said penalty. I mean, I don't know if I would have called that. I understand where that call comes from because that was a very strong clearance. I think he did come through the man a little bit, but that's one of those things where if you just kind of stay on the striker, get in front of him, I don't think he gets that shot off, but here we are now.
And the official is going to issue a yellow card. Unsure if it's going to be for the foul because it is kind of late. Maybe it's for dissent or time for exiting the box. But number 35, Christopher Gomez, is standing over this penalty for a chance to put Volpe on the board and tie this at 1. Gomez goes right, and he hits the post, and it still remains 1-0 for Clayton International. Gomez is putting his head back, looking at the heavens. He's going to want that one back. He had the goalkeeper on bricks. He wasn't moving anywhere. The ball hits off the right crossbar and keeps Volpe off the board.
Yeah, and that is absolutely devastating. He does the little stutter, gets, like you said, gets the goalkeeper going completely outside, but just tries to put it too far to the corner. When you have the keeper out like that, he's not making it back the other way, so you don't necessarily need to nick it in off the goalpost. But we said before, goalpost can be your friend, sometimes your enemy. And I have to say, I think the crossbar and the posts, they're firmly in the camp of Clayton here today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Oscar Vega thought he played a nice defensive play here. Referee disagreed and awarded Clayton a free kick, and he's going to award Clayton another free kick. Sloppy foul by Captain Josué Acosta. Great free kick for Clayton. Volpe is going to benefit from the new format decision of 1 with the second teams playing on their own group. That being said, they need to improve before the start of the spring season. Lots to unpack, lots to take home for Volpe before we head into the spring season.
Certainly so. I think they really need to – they have a lot of strengths for them. I really do appreciate the intensity of their press, but they got to figure out how to make it work with their attacking play.
It's going to be an in-swinger. That near post is wide open. Let's see if he's gutsy. He's going to go low, right at the top of the 18, cleared away by Volpe. I see more white shirts than red, but Clayton just relentless in their press and win the ball back. Just a heavier touch than he expected with a lot of white shirts surrounding him. Volpe are going to win a throw right in front of the Clayton bench. Throw is going to be taken by Josué Acosta, captain. Going to play it square. Christopher Gomez. Gomez just missed an opportunity to tie the game at 1. His penalty kick hit off the right side of the woodwork, if you will. Big clearance from Clayton. Put it right through the middle. Headed back into the danger zone from Kevin Valencia. Nice flick from Brian Rico. Haven't called his name. He's played 49 minutes today. Haven't called his name once. He's going to looking to insert himself into this contest. Going to be a heavy touch from Volpe. Throw in for Clayton. And I assure you, Clayton are in no rush to collect that ball, Steven.
Nope, they are going to take their time onto the blacktop of the track. But I think they actually are going to get some more opportunities as this game goes on, because what you're noticing, the story of the second half is going to be Volpe then versus Volpe now. What's going to be the difference? And so far, Volpe, they're leaving a lot more men forward. They're not quite collapsing into that low block that they had in the first half. That is going to give them more opportunities up front, but could spell devastation if they let it through.
I like the long shot attempt. You never know if you don't try, and Volpe haven't had a long shot attempt all game. Keep them coming. A goalkeeper, like you said in the first half, his hands aren't very reliable. Long shots, have your attackers crash the box, pick up the trash. Volpe could get on the board easily, Steven.
They certainly could, and it's just one moment that they're lacking. That's what the difference
good
is
call.
Right now. It's the moment, and they just need to find it. They need to make it. They need to do something to get there.
Let me ask you this. Do you think they have the confidence to find that moment?
I hope so. I really hope so. Like you mentioned, this is the game where if you're going to make a name for yourself in this lineup, if you're trying to work with the manager to get into that starting 11, this is the time. There's nothing to lose. They need to find it here.
Your Diego Wrights, Christopher Hamiltons, Oscar Vegas, this is their time. They didn't play much in the first half. They're inserted in the second half to try and be the saviors, if per se. Like you said, let's see them take that spot.
Yeah, and I think above everything, just getting one goal in the tournament is a huge lift for the team going into the season.
I could not agree more. And maybe it'll take some of the weight off your back, help you calm down a little bit, get those nerves out. As Clayton are looking to put some pressure on once again. Volpe have possession over on the left side. Clayton just too good today, Steven. Just not making anything easy for Volpe. Volpe are upset that they didn't win that throw, and it's going to be a Clayton throw once again.
They got to be careful. I saw a lot of hands go up there. I saw a lot of heads turn towards the ref. And to be fair, that's a pretty UPSL thing. The refs get a lot of communication practice, but they need to be careful, or there may be some more cards coming out, and that would absolutely kill any momentum they could build right here.
Oscar Vega in possession for Volpe. Big switch, almost stolen in the middle by Clayton, but this time it was. Left back gets possession for Clayton, and their movement off the ball and the way they open up spaces today. I know I've been so repetitive. Look at it. Just coming inside the 18, Clayton, right at the top of the 18, to go up 2-0. What a beautiful save by Andrew Meza. Gets a mitten on it to push it wide right. It's going to sail out of bounds for a goal kick. I apologize, corner kick for Clayton. What a beautiful save. I'm sure we're going to get a replay in just a second, Steven. Andrew Meza.
That was beautiful. Look at number 12. It's the dangerous late run. He's got nobody marking him. The midfield's not coming back in time. It's lazily laid off to him, but that's perfect. Just drives it right at the keeper, and just another, on any given Sunday, on a different opportunity that should have gone in. Great save to keep him in this one.
In swinging corner from Clayton. Top of the 18. Referee's not going to like that acrobatic attempt. He's going to call for a dangerous play. It'll be a free kick for Volpe inside their own 18. But Andrew Meza hasn't had his name called on much today, but when his team needed him the most, he steps up. Volpe, great save for the goalkeeper. Clayton wanted to go up 2-0. They thought they had it.
I thought they did too.
Just great save from Meza.
Yeah, and it's not only speaking to the level of quality if they're finishing when they get the right opportunities, but I really like them being able to find dangerous situations all over.
Christopher Hamilton driving inside the middle of the park. He was looking down. He needs to look up a little bit more if he wants to try and find that open man. He gives it away to Clayton a little bit too easy. Oscar Vega putting on a press for Volpe, trying to collapse Clayton inside their own defensive third. Unsuccessful as Clayton have moved the ball fairly well in the second half already. Brian Rico maintains possession, finds Kevin Valencia. Valencia swings it all the way out to the right side. Acosta trying to find Vega. Christopher Gomez wins the ball back for Volpe. He finds Vega. Gomez goes down inside. The referee says play on. They maintain possession. They've already lost possession. I'm wondering why he didn't give it back to Volpe. As Christopher Gomez remains down in the middle of the field for Volpe. Ball still inbounds. Clayton keep it in. They're driving up the left side. This one's going to be knocked out by Acosta. It should be a Clayton throw, but the referee's going to stop play for an injury to Christopher Gomez for Volpe.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what exact contact he took there. It looks like just wasn't able to control the ball, collided with some defenders. Have to see. I think they let that play go on because he had found the ball down to the bottom side. I don't think he was going to be the one to make the run, but there's always the questions, always the shout for, hey, no advantage, where's our free kick? But I think there's also a little bit of gamesmanship going in here. Volpe know that at this point they just need to find every opportunity to score that they can. If you're a striker and if you get knocked down right outside the box, I don't know if I'm trying that hard to stay up.
Yeah, take advantage of it, go down. Yeah, some of these, you would think that 2023, that'd be a no-brainer. I get nicked in the box, I'm going down. I'm going to try and win a penalty kick. But a lot of these kids want to stay up, do it themselves. They're showmen, Steven. We're going to get back into live action here. It'll be a throw-in for Clayton. Gomez is able to get back on his feet, shake it off. It's going to be a square throw for Clayton.
Look at the absolute swarm of defenders here for Volpe.
Referee put the whistle in his mouth for a foul, but opted against blowing it. And Christopher Hamilton in possession once again for Volpe as he is crashed in from the backside. He goes down, free kick Volpe. Gomez is going to set this up right on the 30-yard line, right in the middle of the 3 and the 0. He's got Diego Wright at the far post along with Brian Rico. Ball's played in. Nice ball. Headed away by Clayton right at the top of the 18. Wright trying to win possession back. Rico with a shot on goal. Brian Rico hits off the crossbar. Still bouncing inside the 18 for Volpe. But it's going to be a foul right at the penalty mark on Volpe. Free kick for Clayton. But another great opportunity. Brian Rico with a great shot. Sails right over the keeper. He had no chance. Saved by the crossbar once again.
That was a cheeky little over-the-top effort there. That was so close going in. And I think this is honestly where the mindset for Volpe may be really hurting them here. Look at that on the right side. The winger stops his run. If he had crashed there, goalkeeper's on the ground. He's not going to be able to get to that ball on the bounce. And perhaps a few too many heads are starting to drop from the Volpe side, especially after that penalty kick. And they're just not having the same intensity that they had before. But certainly, they may be down, they're not out.
No, not
just
at all.
A few centimeters one way or another, that was equalized right there. And that was would have been a beautiful equalizer.
It's like the entire first half we were nestled inside the Volpe half. Clayton was on the attack. It's the exact opposite here in the second half. Volpe have really figured it out. Nice halftime speech from the coach. Christopher Gomez dumps it out wide to Hamilton. Hamilton back heels it, brings it on the inside. Hamilton, nice bit of skill. It's not pretty, but it's effective. Hamilton finds Gomez. Gomez cuts it inside. Gomez still in possession, goes far post. He's got right, leaves it. Goalkeeper comes out, still bouncing inside the 18. Clayton get a lucky clearance because there are more white shirts inside the 18 than red. Volpe win the ball back. Referee's going to call for a foul. Be a free kick for Volpe. Volpe knocking on the door. Steven just unable to find the back of the net. Just like I said in the first half. They're knocking on the door. They deserve one. Let's see if they can reward themselves.
Yeah, I think they smell blood in the water here. The penalty kick really may have put them in a bad spot. That last shot, I think, really brought them back into it. A little bit of a lazy recovery there from the goalkeeper.
Yep.
I thought he was about to get scored on, but phenomenal work from the Clayton defenders. They found the ball, they saw the ball, they kicked the ball, and they kicked the ball really far away. That is the holy creed of the defender. Get the ball away from my net.
Christopher Gomez is going to take this left foot out swinging free kick from the left side of the 18. The ball's played in. Still bouncing at the top of the 18. Vega cleared away by Clayton. Oscar Vega was there. Clayton lucky to get a clearance. Volpe continuously knocking on the door here in the second half. It's going to go over the touchline. It's going to be a goal kick for Clayton. We're in the 60th minute. Clayton still maintain a 1-0 lead from a first half penalty kick. But like I said, the last few minutes, Volpe are knocking on the door, and they're going to try and tie this one up. They want their first goal of the tournament. They want to leave with a point. Let's see if they can. Plenty of time left, about a half an hour plus stoppage. Volpe trying to break down this Clayton defense. Can they do it? Goal kick is taken. Volpe win it in the air. Josué Acosta finds Gomez. One touches it out to Christopher Hamilton. Hamilton stripped. Clayton win possession, and they are on a counterattack. Hamilton trying to win the ball back after his loss. Nice ball, overlap. Clayton inside the 18. Shot on goal! Andrew Meza there once again. 2 mittens on it, forcing a corner.
And Clayton, they need to find this next goal. I think there's eventually going to be a goal here for Volpe. So the only way you stay in the lead is you find the second, you find the third, you bury them under an avalanche, and that's how you break your opponent's spirit. And right here on the attack, good movement for Clayton. They're so electric when they make it into that attacking third. Find the movement down the right side. I thought this was going to be a ball played across again, but no, decides to just beam it at that near side corner. Has to palm away there from the keeper just to keep it out of the net. Will be the corner coming up, and it looks like we got a player down on the side of Clayton.
While Clayton has an injury down on the field, the trainers are on to check it out. You know, Clayton have had really 2 chances here in the second half. Both chances have resulted in 2 great saves from Andrew Meza. He has been called upon twice, and he has answered both calls. Volpe extremely lucky that he is healthy and in between the pipes this afternoon. But let's take a moment to show some sympathy for the injured player and hope he's going to be okay. He is still down, not much movement. We're in the 61st minute. Clayton still up 1-0 over Volpe FC. We are live at Hines Ward Field at Terrace Stadium in Clayton County. UPSL Georgia Spring Regional Cup Match Day 3. First match of 4. Next we have Club the Strongest Atlanta taking on our defending champions Atlanta Rovers FC. Folks, if you got time and you're into soccer and you want to keep watching, I suggest you stay tuned for our next matchup because it's going to be an amazing, amazing contest.
Yeah, today is really a day of 2 stories. The bottom teams and the top teams. We have 2 undefeated teams, 2 winless teams up against each other. And honestly, all of them make for good viewership. Absolutely love the stories we got going here. Don't love a player being down, though. You got to keep in mind, you know, especially for these 2 teams, they are mathematically eliminated from the playoff bracket. And number one thing here in the UPSL, it's development. It's looking after the players. And, you know, so fortunately, sometimes injuries happen. But if there's even a chance that, you know, someone got a bit of a nick and maybe they think they can keep playing, take them off. Let's focus on protecting those players, making sure that they have a long future ahead of them in the game.
As Clayton have some movement on their bench because I'm certain they're going to need a sub as a player remains down. I'd like to also mention that we have 2 more games after the Atlanta Rovers FC and Club the Strongest Atlanta match. We have FC Atlanta Academy taking on Atlanta City FC. And to round out the day and match day 3, we'll have the perennial powerhouse here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division, LGSA La Minho, taking on Cochos Football Club. LGSA have already cemented themselves into the semifinals. As my partner said today, we're just playing for seeding and pride.
Yeah, and what really is going to be driving the narrative of that last game of the day, LGSA versus Cochos, is not only those two teams undefeated. Those two teams are perfect so far. No goals against, all goals for. In fact, LGSA has the advantage at a +6 goal differential. Cochos at +3, but it's really going to be interesting to see who can break through the absolute iron steel armor of their opponents first.
Looks like the player has stepped off behind the goal, and Clayton are going to be forced to bring in a sub, it looks like. But we're going to restart with a corner. The corner is going to be an in-swinger, and it is going to be put right at the back post. It's going to sail over everybody, and if Volpe's smart, they'll let this one ride and restart with a throw. We have 2 players for Clayton warming up behind the bench. They still have their pennies on. Let's see if we'll get a sub here. Right to the thigh of Jasuya Kosa, captain for Volpe, sends it up the right side. Oscar Vega unable to keep it in bounds. It's going to be a Clayton throw right in front of that Volpe bench. Like to mention, to piggyback off what you said about Cocho, Stephen, they're the only team in this regional cup who's not a member of the UPSL. So to possibly solidify yourself into the semifinals, into a top seed this evening, that's big time news.
Yeah, it's huge, and I think the bigger thing is really just giving teams a chance to show off against each other, because really your identity as a team and as a player come from how you match up against others. So exposing yourself to new great teams, that's the best way to develop your team culture.
Cochos had a forfeit win in week 1 due to the paperwork malfunction for Volpe, and they had a 1-0 win over Clayton last week. You know, like I said, that free kick by Saldana, it's going to be quite the test against LGSA tonight, so we're really going to see what Cochos Football Club is made of.
We certainly are. Of course, their first round matchup, like you mentioned, paperwork still undefeated in this league, but we'll have to see whether they are going to be able to come out of this undefeated up against the absolute juggernauts like you mentioned before. So we got a free kick sitting up here very far left of the attacking third.
You know, Stephen, I'd like to see him put this one right at the near post. Look at all the space at the near post. Keeper probably, Andrew hasn't been too confident in his catches tonight. So if it goes at him and he's got some pressure, it might bobble. So like you said before, let's watch this trash that needs to be picked up. It's going to be an in-swinger from the left side for Clayton. 66th minute. Clayton up 1-0. Ball's played in near post. It goes! And Andrew Meza, what a save that he needed to make.
Yeah.
You go down 2-0. In a game like this, it's going to be very hard to fight back.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's not only important that he made the save, he made the catching save. He prevented any sort of rebound from coming through. Very good work for him. I definitely agree with the idea, you know, put the ball at the keeper, let it bounce, but phenomenal work thus far, and you'll see once again that ball. I don't think it comes around with a lot of pace, but it is whipped in there, and just being able to keep your eyes on, especially with the attacker, as Clayton also, referee, taking a bit of pause to reset that goal after it takes a bit of a knock, but they'll be getting us back underway very quickly.
Miguel Vela for Volpe takes a few touches, carries it up the field right in the middle of the park, uses the width of the field to find the feet of Christopher Hamilton. Hamilton spins away from the Clayton defender. Acosta, Hamilton, Rico all working on this right side. Christopher Gomez asking for it. They try to go at the right for Hamilton. Clayton clear it, but it goes right up in the air. Can they keep it in bounds? They do, and they maintain possession, does Clayton. Christopher Gomez and Oscar Vega to make it difficult. Clayton keep it in, push it in the inside, and Miguel Vela climbs all over the back of the Clayton center forward, and Clayton win another free kick right inside that center circle.
A little clumsy there with the defensive effort out of Volpe. They're just trying to find anything right now, and if finesse isn't working, maybe some brute force will open a few doors for them as well. Never hurts to try. Well, never hurts to try as long as you don't get any cards or any more silly penalties, but Clayton they're looking to play this one very calmly. They're happy to just really build up and let Volpe expose the opportunity for them.
Yep. And once again, Stephen Clayton just doing an amazing job of utilizing the width. Great tackle and save there by Josué Costa. Nicks it out. It's going to be a throw-in for Clayton. Clayton are going to be in no rush to get these dead balls back into play. It's a 1-0 lead, but it's an extremely narrow 1-0 lead as Volpe are still knocking on the door. Not as much they have been. Clayton have figured out a way to get themselves back into this second half. And I'm going to piggyback off what you said. If they just maintain possession like they've been doing so well, they can just time this game completely right out of Volpe's chances. Back heel.
Right, exactly. The largest thing with that is just keep these chances coming. Because what we said before, Volpe, they're not efficient. They give the ball over easily, and as long as Clayton control the ball and move it forward, they will be able to kill off this clock. And I think they look to kill the clock, and they look to get another goal and really put this game to bed.
It's going to be a throw-in for Volpe. They throw it quickly right to the feet of Christopher Gomez. Gomez receives, turns, plays it up the left side. Diego right, still in possession. Diego pushes it out to the left. Can Volpe keep it in? They cannot, and Clayton are going to win a throw-in. Volpe doing a much better job of trying to string together some passes and find some space themselves in behind that back line of Clayton. Unsuccessful so far, but much better this half than in the first half as Clayton have some space over on the right side. Miguel Villa closing down the offensive play for Clayton. He wins the ball and clears up immediately. Nice defensive play there by Villa. So he finds the feet of Raul Carlon. The referee blows the whistle for an immediate foul and just immediately pulls out the yellow card. We have the second of the day. This one's going to go to Clayton. Be a free kick for Volpe. I'm sorry, I'm unsure of what the yellow card was for, but it happened awfully quick. Maybe it was for something off the ball, and we have a dead ball, and the official had the perfect opportunity to show it.
Hey, he's confident. That's the number one thing, though. Volpe, it seems like they're definitely getting into a little bit of a desperation mode here. They want to find that first goal. They want to find something to really take away from this regional cup. And sometimes that frustration, it results in extra feet getting left in there, studs showing a bit more, maybe a few more shoulder checks. But yeah, it looks like that will be shown the way of Volpe. So we'll open up a pretty long distance, but potentially dangerous in-swinger.
You see Clayton put this right at the penalty marker. It's going to be a left foot in-swinger. And to the penalty spot it goes. Still bouncing inside the 18. Acrobatic attempt and a beautiful save attempt, but it hits the back of the net, and Clayton go up 2-0. Andre Meza takes a dive to his left, almost keeps it out of the goal, but just too much momentum, and the ball squibbles over the line, and Clayton go up 2-0.
Yeah, and you're seeing the hands for Volpe go up, but I mean, they should be going up for everyone because that was a phenomenal effort. Should be up in joy. Ball bounced a few times. I think there's a shout for offside, but no, that left-sided center back, he's too far back. And that's just finding their opportunity and taking it. We were talking about moments earlier. Volpe needed to find their moment. Clayton, they found their moment first.
This second half began all Volpe. Volpe on the upper hand. Clayton have figured it out. They've taken control. They're up 2. We're in the 71st minute, live from Heinz Ward Field at Terra Stadium. Clayton International FC on top of Volpe FC, match day 3, UPSL Georgia Spring Regional Cup. Both teams, unfortunately, eliminated from competition, playing for pride, playing for confidence, trying to get Clayton up on the upper hand heading into this UPSL season coming up in March. Volpe are the newcomers. They are being welcomed fairly well. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see how they regroup and get started for the season because, like you said, Stephen, they have the talent, they have the players. They just need to gel as a team and figure out how to play with each other.
Yeah, like you said, I think there's so many bright spots on this team, but it's just really figuring out how do we connect them all. I think this is a team that's not only going to continue to develop over the remainder of this game, but the remainder of this upcoming season. Yeah. This is going to be their self-discovery phase. They need to figure out who they are as a club, what do they do, and what really sets them apart from the rest. And I think when things start to click, this could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, like we know Clayton's identity. Spread out, use the space, unbelievable movement, never stop moving. What's the identity of Volpe? we've watched them for 73 minutes, and I can't really tell you what their style of play is, except for in the first half when they were forcing up through the middle to Amos. But he's injured. And what I've liked about them in the second half is they've been able to find some passes and string the ball together, but they haven't been able to do it as Clayton trying to put a third on the board. But Captain Acosta there to clear it away, finds the head of Hamilton, unable to keep possession. But like I said, Volpe doing a very nice job in the opponent's half, stringing together passes, but they just don't have that in game.
No, they don't. I don't think they really have the poacher striking mentality to really run off the last man. I've seen a lot of guys either not really turning their shoulders, checking to see where the line is, or they're checking into the ball a bit too much. They weren't finding it on the break before. They just really need to figure out what is their most successful route to goal. Do we play the long? Do we play through? Do we take the 1-2s? Or do we just send up the cross? I think they really need to cement one or two of those as their key modes of attack.
Absolutely, and they've been most successful with the passing.
They certainly have. But just really finding and stringing them together. This is a team that has a lot of those fundamentals down. But the thing is, when you're trying to win games and score goals at this level, it's not just doing one thing correctly. It's stringing together a series of movements, a series of actions that really bring together a goal.
Got less than 2 months until the spring season begins. Spring season starts April 15th. Volpe've got plenty of time to get things together and find some answers, but I think they need to start with the video of this second half of action because they've really, really done so much better this second half of this game than they have all regional cups, Stephen.
Yeah, they certainly have, and it's always something to build on here. Like we said, this tournament is all about development. Some slight confusion happening here. Looks like number 6 will be joining the game for Volpe.
Yep.
Volpe.
Jordan Garcia is going to step in for Christopher Gomez. Kind of a shock to see Gomez step out as he's been one of the sparks for this Volpe team. But you've got a long season ahead. We've mentioned plenty of times, neither team have something to play for. Get some guys some minutes.
Another substitution coming in here from Clayton. 2 subbing in for 22. If 1-2's nice, 22's got to be twice as nice. We'll be slotting in, it looks like, on that right side of the midfield.
And we are back in live action. Diego Wright gets a little header on it. Jordan Garcia up for the 50-50 ball. Volpe inside the 18. A shot on goal, and it sails wide left. What a great opportunity. Raul Carlone driving into the 18. Shot on goal. Sails wide left. Goal kick, Clayton.
Yeah, that's a good way to get up the field, but that's just a really low percentage chance from that corner. Good work from Clayton to block off that cutback here. As you can see, we have 2 attackers basically running on top of each other for Volpe into the center of this box, and just nobody's filling out that extra space. A little bit too much of, Moss getting drawn to the flame. Everyone holding hands a little bit in that attack in third, and fortunately, you need to be a bit more spread out than that. Plenty of footage will be good for the Volpe team to really, really dig through. They just need to figure out, what is and what isn't working.
Unlucky there for Oscar Vega as he was unable to keep it in bounds. Clayton have won a throw right in front of this Volpe bench. We're in the 76th minute. Clayton International FC maintain a 2-0 lead over Volpe FC. We're live, Heinz Ward Field at Terra Stadium. Beautiful day for soccer. Temperature keeps rising. Sun keeps getting brighter. Perfect day, perfect day for soccer. We've got 2 more to go too, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I feel like the temperature's rising outside and the temperature's rising right here with the level of competition that we've got. This game's gone from a theoretical, nothing on the line, worried about a snooze fest to an absolute barn burner 2-0 here right now.
Absolutely.
And it's only going to get better as the day goes on.
I can't stress enough how excited I am for the game following this one. Club the Strongest Atlanta, Los Tigres, taking on Atlanta Rovers FC. It's gonna be a great contest. 2 good managers, 2 great teams. Atlanta Rovers FC started off strong in the Premier Division last season. 2 key injuries, but Manager of the Year Ayub Aloui was able to pick up the pieces, head into the playoffs, where they lost in the playoffs, and they didn't even have a goal scored on them. More with that during that contest. Shot on goal, and Andre Meza dives to the left, scoops it, keeps it in his hands, And another great save by the Volpe goalkeeper, Steven. Jeez.
All right, he must be listening to the broadcast.
Yes.
He heard us say he can't hold on.
He's showing off.
That was a beautiful hold.
Yes. That's 2 in a row.
That's great.
2 in a row.
Absolutely love it. And you can see right here, that is a high-effort save coming through, almost out of nowhere. You didn't really feel like it was going to be ripped from this far away, but 25 just lets loose. Acrobatic, diving, holding save. That is picture perfect. That is what you need out of your number one. That is the foundation upon which you build your church of the defense.
Clayton still want more. Coming down the right side. They cut it on the inside. Beat one man. Nice play here from Clayton as they drive it inside the 18. Clayton looking to go up 3. The ball just dead stops in the 18. Beautiful defensive play from Miguel Villa. He was not going to be bodied off the ball, but Clayton won the ball right back, Steven.
Yeah, huge. That's number 22. That's a new guy. He's got some heat in him.
Clayton with some space out here on the left side. Closed down by Hamilton. Nice little bit of passing here from Clayton. Using the clock and the space at their advantage. Man of the match so far in possession. Cuts it here. Coming down the byline. Puts it across the middle. Ball's bouncing inside the 18. Lucky for Volpe. They're able to get a foot on and clear it away, but Clayton get possession right back once again. Captain pushes it out to the right side. Got a big body out there on the left side working against Raul Carlone for Volpe. But Carlone puts the man. Well, looks like we got another substitution here for Volpe. Alex Perez getting ready. Clayton put the ball through inside the 18. Is he going to go down? Is going to be another penalty kick? Referee says, get up. Volpe in possession inside their own 18. Clayton still maintaining a lot of pressure here. Forces a huge clearance from Meza. Clayton win the ball back once again.
This is relentless. They're just keeping this ball in their half, and eventually, if they keep the pressure on, they will find the crack.
Let's see, Clayton on the right side. Opening up more space. Moving the ball brilliantly. Clayton International FC. Referee says play on, but they lose possession immediately, and he awards Clayton another free kick on the right side of the 18 with a chance to go up 3. Or in the 80th minute, will he allow this substitution? Because Clayton are going to have a great goal-scoring opportunity. The official is going to allow the substitution, as Alex Perez is going to step on here for, looks like it's going to be Christopher Hamilton. Second half substitution, going to take a seat. Hamilton's day is done. Perez is going to start his day in the 79th minute. He's got 11 minutes to impress. Let's see what he can do.
We already see the impact that some of Clayton's substitutions were making. Like we said, number 22, a true out-and-out winger on that right side. It's already showing his danger. Let's hope the same's true for Volpe.
Low, hard shot right at the near post, cleared away from Volpe. Clayton trying to stay inside this half of Volpe. Nice shielding of the ball. Ball's played inside the 18. Clayton, can they go up 3? Shot on goal, goes to the right side. Andrew Meza was there. Clayton push it wide right. What a chance to go up 3, and the striker has his hands on his face. He can't believe it.
He should have had it. That is a striker's delight. That is a dream pass coming in there. Really good observation. Great turn here from that right wing. Plays it perfectly. Dead stop on the ball. He controls it. He has his choice of shots. And to be fair, up against his goalkeeper, you got to put it perfectly.
Yes.
And he tried to find that, but just a little bit too far outside. He's going to be regretting that one tomorrow, but hopefully the win, as long as they're able to hold on to this 2-0 lead, should soothe some of those pains.
Absolutely. Volpe trying to keep Clayton in their own half. Unsuccessful, but they have won a throw-in right in front of the Clayton bench. Got about 9 minutes plus stoppage time to go here in our first match of the day. 1 down, 3 to go. And if the next 3 are anything like this first one, we are all in for a treat. Volpe cut on the inside. Just a little too much arms. Referee agrees. Free kick Volpe. This is a great opportunity here for Volpe to put one on the board, get them. You score here, you're right back in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just enough time. A lot of people will say to you that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead to have. Sometimes you lose a little concentration in that defensive half, and it's so easy because once your opposition gets that first goal, they have the motivation, they have the fire under them to go get the second, but finding that first goal, that is a tall task. Let's see if they can climb that mountain here.
Right, Garcia, Acosta, all in the box. It goes to the far post. Rico pushes it back. Second half substitution, Jordan Perez unable to put it back inside the 18. And here comes Clayton. Outside of the foot, pushes it back into the inside. And another just beautiful passing here. Can he beat the goalkeeper? Meza steps out, crucial clearance there from Andrew Miza. You go down 3, the game is completely iced. He has to step out, and he does ever so confidently. Oscar Vega stripped Clayton in the middle of the park as he carries it out to the right side. Spins about, does a nice little pirouette with the ball, finds the middle of the park. Brian Rico finds Oscar Vega once again. Vega tried to leave it for Perez. They just weren't on the same page. Clayton were able to read it very nicely, and they're going to try a counterattack of their own as they've been doing all second half. Clayton International FC, here they come, up the right side. They push it back on the inside. Beautiful running, find some space in behind that defensive Volpe. Shot on goal, deflected off Volpe. It's going to be a throw-in for Clayton. And the passing, the movement, the vision, amazing, Steven.
It's phenomenal, and I think especially now in the second half, we're seeing this as another key differentiating factor. Clayton, it's like a river. It is water. They are flowing in this attacking third, whereas we just saw for Volpe, they're sitting on top of each other. They're running into each other, and they don't really have that, hive mind sense of where the other attackers are. Another thing that they got to go back to the tapes. They got to instill. But if they can find that, that might unlock quite a bit for them.
Clayton just had a quick substitution before their throw-in. Number 26 has played one hell of a game. He's going to take a break, get some rest, gear up for the regular season with some space at the top of the 18. Clayton International FC, the ball's deflected, bounces off the post. Volpe able to get a lucky foot, clear it out left. The ball bounced inside the 18 for about a half a second before Volpe pounced to keep Clayton off the board. The score remains 2-0.
I know we're still working on getting some more stats in this league. I'd kill to see the XG of Clayton right now. It's got to be high.
Is he going to award a foul? He does. Trying to keep in possession, Clayton. It's going to be fouled by number 18, Alex Perez for Volpe. Yellow card for Perez.
And here's that replay. And you're just seeing the top of the box area. It is the most dangerous. Takes that bit of a deflection and goes just too far wide. So absolute heartbreak there. When you see a goalkeeper go down and it hits one of your defenders, that's when you know that you're in trouble.
Meza's going to put a 2-man wall in front of this Clayton free kick. Let the wall handle the near post. Clayton's got 4 red shirts at the far post and a couple lagging at the top of the 18. The ball goes far post, just going to sail way, way too far wide. Sails over. Goal kick for Volpe.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see they went with the in-swinger there, especially because they had the 2 guys, one for in, one for out. If you have an out-swinger there, you had a grouping of 4 or 5 guys at that back post, but, the luxury of being 2-0 up, you can get a little creative. You can get a little experimental and figure out really what are the set pieces going to look like for the regular season. And 5 minutes left on the board. This is going to be a tough task, a tough ask to see Volpe come back in this one.
Clayton in possession, being pressured very highly by Raul Carlone. Easy for me to say. Carlone commits a foul. Clayton have a free kick right on the halfway line. They're going to be in no rush to take it. We're about to enter the 86th minute. They still hold a 2-0 lead over Volpe FC. Clayton just putting on a passing clinic today.
They're so comfortable playing forward and backwards. They're not afraid to play through you in the attacking third. They're not afraid to use their defenders. I mean, honestly, I think that these left and right backs have had some of the best passing range for anyone in this field.
I agree. Throw in quickly taken by Vega. Trying to find Diego Wright. Wright's going to be fouled. He's calling for some assistance. Looks like he picked up a little knock. It's those little niggle knocks that just linger. Free kick for Volpe on the right side of the 18. Who's going to take this one? Looks like Miguel Vila comes up from his center back spot. I don't like the angle here, Steven, so I'd like to see this ball bent to the far post. Give one of your attackers an opportunity to crash the goal, maybe find the back of the net.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to be a shot on goal. I would be absolutely hard-pressed unless the goalkeeper is so far off. He's
that near post
far
is
there.
Yeah, I agree. And he does
deflects off the wall.
Deflects right off the wall. He went for that near post, did Villa, but he wins a corner nonetheless. Volpe have about 5 minutes, I'd say, to really, really put the heat on Clayton. Corner from the right side. Oscar Vega is going to take it. He's got a right foot, so it's going to outswing. Far post is wide open. He puts it there. Can it get there? Clayton's going to get a header deflection, but it's going to be offside.
I believe I saw there was a some outstretched arms from the attacking members of Volpe. Whenever your arms are extended in the box and there's an opponent down in front of you, you're going to get called. So keen eyes there from the referee, making sure that that roughhousing comes to an end, but it's already coming back the other way.
Volpe are going to take the throw. Find the feet of Valencia. Valencia carries it back to the inside. Brian Rico. Stripped immediately from the captain of Clayton. Here come Clayton. They're going to have another counterattack opportunity here in the 88th minute. Can they find the third? Through ball attempt. Can he keep it up? Meza comes out and makes another beautiful save. Andrew Meza, no doubt the player of the game for Volpe. Where would they be without Meza, Steven?
Probably about 4-0 down would be my guess. That's a confident goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
That's tricky to do when you're behind like this, but that is exactly what you want out of your number one.
I'll put the goalkeeping here in the Georgia division in the UPSL up against any division in the country. Premier Division I, Georgia spits out goalkeepers.
It really does. And speaking of which, we get to have another look at that. Beautiful movement from Clayton. Finding that space is so tricky to do at this level of play. And just the ability to identify that through run, that through ball through the center directly over top the other center back, phenomenal. But, of course, great pass with great goalkeeping.
Both teams trying to gain possession in the midfield. Volpe win that battle. Clayton are going to win it right back. Clayton have just been relentless, whether it's in the middle of the park, on the edge, their own defensive third, the opposition's defensive third. Going to have another sub here from Clayton. Try and run up the clock as much as possible. Ball's played across the middle, right in the 18. Clayton, lots of time. Nice fancy shot attempt. You'd like to see him use his left foot there.
The Rabona is a bold choice to go for in the basically at the penalty area, but doesn't quite come off from. Can't quite get the power on it, which, given the technique, isn't too shocking.
As we have stoppage of play, as there's an injured Volpe player down. Looks like it's going to be Raul Carlon. As he is down on one knee. Referee stops play to check on the injured Volpe player. First half was all Clayton International FC. Second half started out all Volpe. Since then, it's been kind of 50-50. Both teams battling hard. Clayton, obviously, with the upper hand as they were able to find the back of the net once again here in the second half to take a 2-0 lead. But Volpe need to be very excited about how their second half play went, Steven. And it looks like we're going to get 4 minutes of stoppage before you have your retort. 4 minutes of stoppage.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see what happens in those 4 minutes of stoppage. But you're right. This is a tale of two halves for Volpe. Unfortunately for them, they would have liked that to result in a goal, or maybe two, or better yet, even three. But, it is what it is. And I think at this point for Volpe, as the ultimate test of the preseason here, you just take what you can and you bring it in. You bring it back onto the training pitch. You bring it back in those sessions, and you just build on top of it. These are the building blocks that they need to build their campaign on.
I want to make a statement here. I've been a part of this beautiful sport for over 30 years. And for the first time, I've just seen somebody with the number 100. The goalkeeper for Clayton is number 100, and that's a first for me. I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen a triple-digit number on the soccer field before. Clayton just had that substitution, and Volpe are right back in action here. Oscar Vega inside the 18. Vega's got 2 men to beat, and he is stripped immediately. Clayton International, we're having none of that, and they're going to try and make one last counterattack to make a third one come alive. Clayton International FC, long shot attempt, and it goes way wide right. And Volpe have a goal kick coming, and this may be one of the last plays of the game, Steven.
Certainly so. I mean, we got maybe a few more dying moments here, but Clayton, they're just having fun right now. I think that's the biggest thing. They're enjoying their time. They're enjoying the attack. They're enjoying finding those passes, and it's showing. They're getting creative. They're not afraid to make those runs. They're not afraid to take those shots. Fortunately for them,
it looked like their
be closer, but
it looked like their bench was really excited when the defender went forward. Clearly, he doesn't do it that much. With another opportunity here, Clayton at the top of the 18. They're going to try and find some space, and they do. Can he keep it in bounds? He does. He's got one man in front. Brian Villa gets a deflection on it, cleared away by Raul Carlon. Alex Perez in possession for Volpe. Finds Rico. Rico looks up, finds the feet of Oscar Vega. Time is running out for Volpe.
Huge attacking run.
Diego Wright. It looks like...
Interesting clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an aggressive ball played down the left wing for Volpe. Really seemed like goalkeeper caught a bit in no man's land, was deciding whether to go feet first, hands first, ended up with the feet. That is a throw-in that is on the wrong line. So here of course, when we play on the American football pitches, a little different line schema. It's a blue line a little bit further back, but they just want to try to find absolutely anything at this point.
Cleared right up into the air inside the 18 of Clayton and able to get a head on and clear it away. Lots of space in front. Can they make one last goal scoring run?
I'd be shocked if they don't get at least one more chance.
Here it comes. And the coach sends him on. He says, go for it. Got space out here on the left side. They even find him. He creeps inside the 18. Beats one man. Pulls it back. Still in possession. Nice little skill here from Clayton inside the 18. Can they find a third? And they do! Clayton International FC ice the game with some beautiful playing, bringing down the left end line, putting it up top, and shoving it in the back of the net. Clayton International FC are going to end their regional cup with a 3-0 win. Here's a replay.
That's as sweet as they come. Number 12 just puts on the techers, gets the pullback, gets the beautiful ball across the top of the box, and cool, calm, collected finishing there. Sometimes when the whole goal's in front of you, you don't know where to put it, but strikers like that just have ice in their veins. They're ready to just put the ball and put their foot through the ball, put it in the back of the net, and boom, 3-0.
You never stop fighting inside the 18 because if you don't, you'll reward yourself with a goal just like that. Clayton have really come to play today. You really have to admire their spirit. And most of all, this is the most confident in the last 18 months that I have seen Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge builder for them. Confidence.
Volpe with a man wide open at the back post. Perez with an acrobatic attempt, but just didn't get on what he wanted to. Easy save for the goalkeeper. And that's going to do it for our first game here on match day 3. Clayton International FC with a late one. Defeat Volpe 3-0. You know, Stephen, like I said before, first half was all Clayton. Volpe come out with some reinforcements in the second half, really show they had some fight and some spirit. But in the end, Clayton, just too much.
They're looking good. I mean, you know, looking at the group that they've been a part of here, Coaches FC, LGSA, that's a tough group. They look better than their one-win record right now. I think this is a team, I don't know if they're necessarily in contention yet for the title this season, but this is a building year. I expect them to take some games off some teams you wouldn't have thought of before, and I can't wait to see where they go from here. This is a great place to start.
Game 1 is in the books. We saw Clayton International FC edge Volpe FC 3-0. Stay tuned. We've got Game 2, Club the Strongest Atlanta taking on Atlanta Rovers FC right after this.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.